Everyone thinks a 200W solar kit means 200 watts flowing into your battery. But here is the thing, most kits only deliver a fraction of that in the real world, and the controller is usually the silent culprit. I went in skeptical because budget kits love big numbers. After 2 weeks of testing the WEIZE 200W 12V solar panel kit across clear skies, light overcast, and some deliberate shade, I found something counterintuitive. This budget-friendly 4.5-star rated kit can be a powerhouse for the right user if you set it up correctly, and a disappointment if you do not. I logged amps, watts, and amp hours daily. And what I discovered might flip your expectations. Before we dive into what I discovered, quick heads up. If you are already leaning in and want the current best price, the link is below. But stick around because a simple setup choice made a 20% swing in my results, and that is the difference between a win and a return. Here is why I even needed this kit. My RV batteries kept tapping out by morning. Lights, a 12V fridge, a fan overnight, and a laptop charge or two. I wanted a lightweight, no-drama solar solution to keep a 100Ah battery above 70% daily without firing up a generator. I had tried a no-name panel before that browned out after 3 months, and a used polycrystalline setup that lagged hard in fall weather. So I grabbed the WEIZE kit because of the monocrystalline cells, rated up to 21% efficiency, aluminum frame, tempered glass, and that strong customer feedback. On paper, 2 100W mono panels with pre-drilled mounts, MC4 connectors, and a 12V charging setup should be plug-and-play. But I have been burned by PWM controllers and poor wiring before. Hope met skepticism the moment I unboxed it. Test 1, midday, clear sky, tilted. I mounted the 2 panels, each roughly 39.96 x 20.27 x 1.18 inches on a temporary tilt frame at around 30 degrees. At 12:40 p.m., battery resting at 12.4 V, I was seeing 9.6 to 10.3 amps into the battery at 13.6 V during absorption on the included PWM controller, about 130 to 140 watts delivered. Not 200, but realistically solid for a PWM setup with typical wiring losses. But then I flattened the panels to simulate a van roof. Current dropped to 8.8 to 9.3 amps at 13.4 to 13.6 V, roughly 120 to 126 watts. Flat mounting costs you more than you think. Test 2, heat soak. After 2 hours in the sun, panel surface temps hit the high 50s. C output fell another 8 to 12%. That tracks with typical mono temp coefficients. The takeaway, in summer, your 200W nameplate is fighting heat. But here is where it gets interesting. Despite the drop, the kit still pushed over 50 Ah back into my 12V system across a clear day, enough to recover a 100 Ah battery from 50 to the mid-90s without babying loads. Test 3, light overcast. Under thin clouds, I logged 2.1 to 3.5 amps steady into the battery, translating to roughly 30 to 45 watts. Not heroic, but not dead either. The monocrystalline cells did better than my old poly panel in the same conditions by about 10 to 15%. Test 4, partial shade. I shadowed the lower corner of one panel with a small board just like a roof vent might. Output tanked to the 60 to 70 watt range. The bypass diodes helped, but partial shading on either panel still clobbered performance. If your installation lives near antennas or rails, plan your layout carefully. Build and install notes. The anodized aluminum frame and tempered glass felt robust. The junction box is sealed and the MC4 connectors clicked tight. Each panel comes with short MC4 pigtails, about 2.6 feet, so you will need proper extensions to reach the controller. Pre-drilled holes make it friendly for Z-brackets, side pole, or tilt mounts, just no tilt hardware is not included. Use 10 AWG or thicker for longer runs to keep voltage drop in check. The included controller is a basic PWM with an LCD and battery presets. It will charge a 12V system and is simple to set up, but it will not squeeze every watt like a good MPPT. Then I did the thing most people do not. I swapped the PWM for my test MPPT controller on day 10. Same panels, same sun, same wiring. Peak charge went from about 9.6A to 11.3 to 12.1A into the battery at 13.8 V, roughly a 15 to 25% bump at the top of the curve. Over a full clear day, I logged an extra 8 to 12 Ah into the bank. That is the difference between running the fan overnight versus turning it off at 2 am. Bottom line, the panels are the heroes. The PWM is fine for simplicity and budget, but an MPPT upgrade is your silent performance unlock. Here is the revelation. The WEIZE 200W kit is honest hardware with budget compromises in the right places. The panels themselves impressed me. Consistent output, solid build, good weatherproofing, and they survived 2 surprise rainstorms and a rooftop wash without drama. The weak link, like most kits at this tier, is the PWM controller, not because it fails, but because physics caps its harvest. If you value dead simple setup and you are powering lights, a water pump, a small fridge, and device charging, the stock configuration will hold you. If you want to pull every amp hour or you live off-grid in winter, plan to budget for an MPPT from day one. I also compared this to a pricier 200W MPPT bundle I own. The WEIZE panels matched or slightly beat those panels on clear days when tilted. The difference was purely controller efficiency and cable routing. So if you're debating panels versus controller, spend on panels you trust and upgrade the controller when your needs grow. And for those worried about longevity, the frame, glass, and sealed junction box scream outdoor ready, and that 4.5 Amazon rating plus responsive manufacturer support gave me confidence if anything goes sideways. Now that you know the panels can deliver and the controller is the pivot point, grab it while it is still in that budget sweet spot. Link is in the description for the best current price. Just remember, tilt and wiring are free watts and an MPPT later is future-proofing. Recommendation time. If you are outfitting an RV, van, cabin, shed, or small boat and want a reliable, easy starter kit to keep a 12V battery healthy, the WEIZE 200W 12V solar panel kit makes a ton of sense. You will love it if you value simple install, sturdy panels, and predictable daily harvest. Upgrade to an MPPT if you run heavier loads or chase every watt in winter. Skip it if you demand portable folding convenience or need 24/7 off-grid for a high-draw inverter right now. Bottom line, set it up smart and this kit punches above its price. Set it up sloppy and you will blame the sun for what the controller and wiring are doing.